Hey there, future professionals. Welcome to Employability Plus, the channel where you'll find everything you need to build the skills that get you hired. Why-
Hello friends, welcome back to yet another session on Power BI. Welcome to Employability Plus with you, Arun. We are going to start from where we left last time. Let me go to that screen. The last previous video, in case if you had seen the previous video, you have the continuity, right? So what we did, come on, what we did, we just removed in the previous video, we removed the duplications, but again it sits here 943 distinct and 900 uniques. If you remember, last time we did remove duplicates. Remove duplicates. There's become 1000 distinct and 1000 unique. How come it becomes from 943 to 1000? I had answered that question because it takes top 1000 rows as a profiling reference. Right? When it got deleted, it has pushed other things above. And since we have removed all the duplicates, it becomes 1000 distinct and 1000 unique. Now, how did I get back to the previous state so quickly? Because that's the great thing about Power BI, which you may be missing in Excel. To some extent, you can always go back to the previous step in Excel by using Control Z, right? If you want to, undo certain things, you can always do Control Z and all Control Z and go back and change that one what you did last. But the privilege we have in Power BI, even if you had done 10 different steps, okay, you can always go back to the previous version wherever you wanted, right? Using the option called applied steps. It's a great thing which you have in Power BI. Can you able to see now here the applied steps, which is here, the source step is here. You can have the source step, which is nothing but from where the data has been taken, right? That will show here, right? The source here, and then promoted headers. Please remember, whenever the data is uploaded into Power BI, initially it will not take the headers automatically. Now you can see column 1, column 2, column 3, because I went back to the first step. So that is why it is not showing any column headers. So the moment you uploaded the file from the source, automatically system will take promote the headers. So when I click on promoted headers, now the which are available in the the second row has become first now. Earlier column 1, column 2, now promoted headers. These you don't need to do it. When you upload a file, automatically system will promote the first row into the headers. And then the changed type is nothing but when you uploaded the data, it was not text format, it was not date format. You remember this is a date format it has mentioned, but it's not a date. Okay, we can change the type, right, into a date format, right? That can be done. Yes, it has to be inserted because it has to be here immediately before this. So it has converted into date format. Like this, system will take three things on its own. What are those three things? Source, promoter headers, and then change type. All system will do it on its own. Now the first step I did was remove duplication, which has come here. Now if I, whatever going forward, whatever I am doing now, right? Whatever we are going to do now, it all will come under applied steps. So that's the beauty about Power BI. In case if you wish to go back to the previous step, it is so easy for you to delete the step which you have done and then go back to the previous version. So even if you have done 10 different things, you can always go back by deleting those steps. Remember this applied steps in Power BI, one of the best you could find, right? Where you can go back to the earlier versions, right? Now coming back to this one, we did remove the duplicates. Let it be removing duplicates. Now let's see what is the next thing we need to do here. Okay, so the next thing is replacing the values. Fill down, which is similar to what? Because removing duplicates we have already done. So replacing values. Now let's say I have a data set here which has some null values or empty values. Okay, I want to fill these empty values as NA. Okay, because missing values have to be filled in any analysis. When you make an analysis, very important that we refill also. Let's say not refill, we just replace, right, the missing values, the blank values into the values which we want. In this case, assume that I want to convert this missing value into NA. Okay, not applicable or not known. NK, let's say NK. So I can just click here, replace value, right? But since why it is coming as insert step is, whenever you make any steps, whenever you make anything, please remember to keep the cursor below the last step, because the next step should come below this remove duplicates. It should not be in change type. So that is why it is giving an instruction to me. So now it is good to go. So we can give like this, replace values, right? And say blank space with not known, something based on your requirement, data requirement, right? Now NK has come here. Okay, NK has come here, right? NK wherever is applicable, NK has been filled. Now if you want to check how many NKs have come herely, you know how to do it. Last section, last video we have seen, which is view. Okay, you can go and see in column profile. Okay, you know NK is here, 39%. In fact, 39 entries have been made in this. Do you believe it? 39 empty values were there in that blank spaces. So we have refilled it with, you know, this option, right? So now let's move on. Replaced values. Now what happened when I replaced the value? Entire blanks have been replaced with NK. But assume that you want to make one change. Okay, this is one thing, you know, if I want to make one change, let's say I want to make this change. Can I make only this particular change? Can I edit, like double click here, like Excel can we do? Unlike Excel, we cannot, you know, make edit into one difference, one cell, like just by entering the information, because whatever you are doing comes under applied step, right? For if you want to make change to one particular cell, okay, I'll tell you how to do it. But when I teach you about custom columns, okay, you have something called, you have an add column, you have something called custom column, conditional columns, which we are going to use, where I'm going to, you know, explain you how to make certain changes to a cell, right? In case if you want to refill for the entire, you want to fill for the entire thing, you can always do it with replace option, right? Now let's move on. The next in store is uh, splitting the columns. Now we have in Excel, there is a concept called text to columns. I hope you all remember. The shortcut for in Excel is Alt DE. Enter, enter. You can divide values into two different columns. In Power BI, it is very simple, right? In Power BI, again, it is very simple. All we can do is let's remove this one, column distribution, and this one. We don't need anymore. Now, what we can do is splitting the column. Okay, you have to decide whether you want to keep the column which you are going to divide in the same, you want to make changes to the existing column, or you want to create a new column and, you know, move this uh, data. That you have to make a decision. In Power BI, you have something called transform and add column. So some of the functions in add column gets repeated in transform. Let's say in add column you have something called date and time. Similarly, you will find in transform also you find date and time. Why would you have same function in transform and add column? Think about it. The reason being is transform, whatever changes you are making to the data set will be applied in the same column, which means you're going to sit in the same branch and cut it. It is a kind of thing, right? So what means is if you make certain changes in this data column, the changes will be applicable in this column itself. Any change you make, you have to be very clear, you have to be very specific, you have to be, you know, uh, clear in making that step, right? In case if you wish to change, you can always remove that applied step. You can do that, but still, you know, it is better to, in case if you want to segregate the values, it is better you have value columns for that, right? So that can be done through this. Now let's say I want to add column where I want to segregate this one information. In the sense order ID, I want to have only the last four digits, or let's say I want to have specifically I want to have certain thing, right? So what I can do is I can go to add column, right? And before that, let me tell you, index column. Index is very important for any data set, especially when you want to refer a data set. So let's create an index column for our data set, which we don't have right now, right? So what you can do is go to add column, index, and from one. So index column has come here. at the big. It is supposed to be at the beginning, but it has come at the last. But you don't need to worry. Just right click, okay, click on this one, right, and then say move to the beginning. So it will come to the front index. Now, the difference I was telling you about transform, whatever you do, it will come in the same place. But in add column, what happens? Whatever you are doing, it will go to the next column. You can have a fresh column where you can, bring those new informations, right? New data. Now, in this case, if I want to extract this information, all I can do is add. I can just click on this one, and then I can say add column, right, and extract text before delimiter. Okay, what is the text I want to have is, or let's say text after delimiter, right? Let's say I want to have text after delimiter. Delimiter, what I'm going to give is hyphen, the delimiter which I have. So I want to have this information, all this information, other than the first three, or I want all this information now. So I'm giving OK, right? At the end, you'll have that information. See this one, text after delimiter. Whatever you are having here, if you want to check it, let's move this one. Just drag, like an Excel, just drag and drop it near to that so that you can verify it whether the information is correct. Just drag and drop, similar to what you have done. Since it's a first value, I could have easily brought it first only, but just want to show you the feature of drag and drop. So I brought it like this. Okay, let me put it here now at present, right? And then move it to first row so that easy for us to drag. Beginning, okay. So now I can bring it here so that it will be easy to compare. Right. Now see this one. What I have done, I have removed this hyphen, started with 9 and ending with 46. What did I do? I just went to add column, extract, and gave this option. It is so simple in Power BI to extract information, delimit whatever we don't want, right? Start as a reference. You can start it as a reference that way, right? You can do that way. Right click. I'm saying you can select it. You can extract it, or you want to extract some certain values. Let's say in this case, I want to have uh, 6 digits alone extract. I want to extract, so I can just click here, extract. Okay, first characters. Okay, how many count I want? I want to have 7 or whatever it is. So that alone will come in the first character. I can extract, then I can move it to wherever I want. Okay, so this extract is so easy. It is a text to columns replacement for in a Power BI, right? Similarly, you have other options. So if you want to count the length of this one, let's say count the length of the shipment, right? Ship postal code, you can just count it. So it will give you the count number, which is 6 digits for everything. In case if you find something anomaly in this data set where you think a pin code, it has more pin codes. Some of them are not accurate data, which has more pin codes, which is not correct. Then you can always find the length. Immediately go to do what? Go to view, right? And do a column profile. So you'll know exactly how many things. All are 6 digits. There is no seventh digit. How did we find this? We just found the length of it and then we went to column profile. You're getting my point? So such an easy thing. You can, you have to have that analytical mind so that whatever you want to, you have to cross check like this, right? Now we don't need this anymore. Okay, let's remove it. Now we have seen the how to extract information. Now if I want to add a month, right, in Excel we have something called date formulas. Text, select the cell and then you do a date formulas. Instead of that, if I want to put a month or a date, it is easy to do it in Power BI. But in this case, I want to use what, not an add column option but transform option, because I don't want to add additional column. Or let's say I want to add an additional column and then change this date, okay, into month. What happens, this date, for this date I'll get the month. You're getting my point? This is the month for those dates. If I want to take the month name, okay, for this month, I can select here, okay, and I can go to, one second. Since these are in numbers, okay, it won't come. So what we can do is go to this place, select the date, okay, and then you can click on, add column. Then you can say, right, month, name of the month. Okay, so what happens? This month name will come at the last. So let's say this first is what, April, May, and then you have September, right? So see that April, May, September is there. Yes, April, May, September is there. So this is possible. In case if you wish to change it in this place itself, you can change it as well. If you want to make changes to this one, don't go for add column. Please understand the difference between add column and transform. If you want to make changes to the existing column, go with transform option. If you want to make changes and then move that changes to additional column and add-on column, then go with add column. That is the difference. Now here, if I want to change it directly, so I can use option month here only. Changes will happen here only. Right? It has come here. Just see this one. It will be here. This one. This is add column option. So go to transform and then do the same option here, which is select it and then date. Changes will happen in this place only. If it is a month, yes. If you want to have it as, in case if I wish to delete something, I want to go back to my previous step. See, I can delete it like this. That's an easy option we have. We don't need to worry about anything. If we make an error, trial and error is always welcome in Power BI in case if you want. As long as you don't share the report with your boss, you don't need to worry about it. Right now, you can make all those changes. You can delete all those changes. It is possible. Right now, understood the difference between a transform and add column, which are important. Okay? Transform and add column, which are important. Just a moment. Please do subscribe for this channel to stay connected. Let's move on to this one. Replace values, fill down. We have got this one, right? We have got replace values. Now, what is this fill down up? Fill down up. What is this concept? We have come to the split column. We haven't seen this fill down up. Split column, you are clear with this right now, right? You are very clear with how to split or how to bring date, right? How to segregate, extract, right? Now let's understand what is drilled. Drill. I'm saying, drill down options. In the sense, not drilling down. It's basically, creating a down option, right? Let's say you have a null value in this data set, like amount. You have this null value. Now if I want to bring down the previous value, either I can use null value. I want to replace it. Basically I can make it as a mean value or a median value, or I can take the previous value into null value or the subsequent value into null value. It's up to me. How can I do that? How can I convert a null value into the previous value? It's nothing but right click here. You have an option fill down. What happens here? Fill down. When I say null is there, 399 is. If I do fill down, it becomes what? 399. Because from 399 it come down again 399. So right click on this. You have fill down option. So 399 and 399. Earlier it was a null. You remember when I delete this, it becomes null. See this one, it's null. What did we do? We used option fill down. Now if I use fill up, what happens when I use fill up for this? 363, it becomes 363 fill up. So right click here. This time let's do a fill up option, right? Fill up. Okay, now what happens? It becomes 363 this time. It is taking a lot of time. The reason being fill up and fill down is fill up, it will not take much time. Sorry, fill down. Fill up, because number of values were very less. Fill up, it is taking a bit more time, right? So now it has come, 363 has come as we discussed, right? So if you're being if you're working on areas where you're working on missing values, then you can use this fill up and filled up option, fill down option, right? Basically to bring down the data or bring up the data previous value. That is possible. Now, the last topic for the day, we are going to discuss about you know uh, conditional formatting, which is a replacement for if condition. You have an if condition, right? So for that, there's a replacement, right? You have an if condition. We discussed about this one, right? So if condition, the replacement we are going to have is what? We are going to use add column, conditional column. Now let's say what is my criteria. I'll tell you before we implement if condition in this database, right? So let's say I have amount 406 like this I have. So any amount which is greater than 500, I want to convert that value into 1000. Rest all can remain in the same value. If it is more than 500, I want to make it as 1000. Remaining values can be in the same number, right? So what we can do here is we can just go to conditional column, right? Which is in the add column. By the way, I'm doing it in the add column, right? Please remember the add transform which we discussed. So conditional column, I'm going to give the final amount. This is the final amount, final. So what I'm saying here is column number. I want to have this amount column. If it is greater than, okay, if it is greater than, let's say 500, okay, then what you want? If it is greater than 500, I want here in this place, I want 1000, right? Else what I want? See, here it is in the number. So please remember this is a number. ABC 123 is a number, right? Now else here, if it is not 500, if it is less than that, what I want is I want to drop down this one, change into select the column option from enter value option, selecting a column option. Then I'm selecting the amount. So what do I mean by that? If this amount is greater than 500, it comes to 1000. If it is less than 500, it goes back to the previous amount itself. I hope you understood. Conditional column is a replacement for if condition. Add column, conditional column. If amount is greater than 500, then immediately we are giving 1000. In case if it is not meeting this, if it is less than this, then go back to the previous amount, which is else amount. So I'm giving OK. Now you can see this information output in the right extreme column. You'll see this output 406, 329, 753. So what happens here is 406 will be there, 329 will be there, 753, as per my understanding, becomes 1000. Yes. So our thing is working fine, right? So we learned some of the basics in data cleaning, but we have a long way to go in data cleaning also, right? And we are going to go a little slow so that learning will be more productive, right? It's not about the quantity, it's about the quality, the amount we spend. Each thing what you learn today, you will remember for your rest of your life. That I can assure you, that is the reason we are going slow on these concepts, right? So with this, I'm coming to the I'm coming to the conclusion, right? So please subscribe to this channel. I have seen many of you are seeing the video but not subscribing to the channel. Please do subscribe and support, right? And make this videos available immediately after uploads for you, right? You will get a notification once you subscribe to this channel, right? So thank you, and looking forward to meet you all again in the next video. Thank you. Have a good day.